I went in the Air Force. I scored high on my mechanics for my testing. I could be an airplane mechanic, so that's what I became. I was in during Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Scared kid, going to war.
Revitalize Community Development Corporation announced an initiative called JoinedForces this week here in the city of Holyoke, where we're going to be focusing on repairing and modifying homes for military veterans in the city of Holyoke as well as the city of Springfield. We've been working on veteran home projects since our inception in 1992. Currently, we average 50 home repair projects per year from start to finish that are completed each and every year. We're the only nonprofit in Western Massachusetts that's doing that. We look to expand our services into Holyoke for veterans as well as other low-income families with children, elderly, and people with disabilities. So many are coming home from the current wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's our time to serve.
I did 6 years active duty in my full-time reserve status and got a nice honorable discharge out of it and went right to truck driving and been doing it ever since. I've been with Conway Freight, well over 16 years now. Haul anything, anywhere, anytime. I have my wife, Jessica, who I've been married to for well over 10 years now.
We've had ups, we've had downs, but when it comes down to it, we've always pulled through, and the kids help us be strong too. Alexis, she's 14. She has her black belt in karate, and now she currently plays on the Holyoke Knights freshman volleyball team. Gets straight A's, very studious when it comes to school. She's a perfectionist. Scotty, he's 12. He is a straight A student. He plays basketball for the CYO Blessed Sacrament Church, and he wants to do other sports. He's like my monkey boy. Trent, he actually was diagnosed with autism, and he's actually just become a Shriner's patient. May end up with braces on his ankles. He's had a rough road. He puts every effort that he has, and he loves school. So I got some pretty good kids.
Yeah, this has been our home, my whole life. It's been here for generations. My great-grandparents all the way down to now me. And hopefully it goes to my kids and right down the line.
It's been passed through the family, and unfortunately, nothing was ever done. No upkeep, and it all ended in our lap. It's old, but it's home. It's big. Cleaning it is a nightmare. I love it here. It needs a lot of work. For my kitchen, for example, I have nowhere to put anything. Everything's old. Even when I clean it, it doesn't look clean.
It served its purpose throughout the years, but we don't have any cabinets. We have pantries, which is what the old houses had. And as far as the cabinet on the kitchen sink, if you touch them, they're probably gonna fall apart. The windows, well, what can I say? They're as bad as they look. It's an old house. The old girl needs some work. She's seen her years of being beat up by Mother Nature.
Our first big thing was with our son Trent. When he was 3 months old, it's kind of a blur still. I got a phone call while I was driving stating that my son had stopped breathing. It was my mother in hysterics. So my whole life as I'm driving just flashed before my eyes, my son's gone, my son's gone. When I went into the ER, there must have been over 40 people working on our son. He ended up on life support in the pediatric ICU. And, Bay State was great. They took care of our son, but the hero was Scott, because he's the one who resuscitated our son and found him. And he wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for Scott. I think it just made us appreciate each other in life and the little things. That yeah, things get tough, but you know what? We're alive. We're waking up. And then I hurt my back on my job. Working as an EMT, unfortunately, my career is over, I'm still having complications, and even though we're getting hammered with everything negative happening, something's breaking, we can't afford to fix it, or You know, we are literally down to very little food, and how are we going to get more food? How are we going to pay for our kids to do something that they want to do, because we don't get to go on trips, we don't do any of these things. We just work at it, you know, and we break down, but we have to keep going because we don't have a choice.
You don't want to say you're helpless. You're not helpless, but it's just, you need help. Everybody does at one point in time. My wife being disabled, yeah, it's going to be there the rest of her life. Paycheck hasn't gone up. I'm not going to lie, it does hurt the pocketbook. I don't know, I kind of don't dwell on it. If I see a problem, I try and correct it, move on, and put it behind me as best as I can.
He works really hard at his job and provides the food on the table so that we can all eat.
Yeah, he tries his best to make sure we all have everything, even if that means like sacrificing stuff for him or my mom to put us first.
Scott's one man, and he's breaking his back trying to keep things up, and he can't do it himself. We need help.
We chose the Leary family here in Holyoke as our first project that we're going to kick off on Veterans Day. Scott Leary served in the U.S. Air Force. They've been struggling financially. It's been very difficult for them to do regular upkeep and maintenance on the home. So on Veterans Day, we're going to kick off a project with Bolio Home Improvement, and we're going to do quite a bit of exterior work. There's some insulation, there's some roof repairs because pests are getting into the home, which is very unsafe. All new windows are going to be installed to make the home energy efficient. Kitchens and Baths by Curio are also going to be assisting that day. Mayor will be rolling up his sleeves, and the family themselves, they're going to be working on the home. They're so well deserving, and we're thrilled to be able to welcome them into the Revitalize CDC family.
To find out that Revitalize selected us, it hasn't sunk in yet.
You swear these people are a bunch of saints because, you know, they come out of nowhere and they're going to help you out, and they're not looking for anything in return.
They're angels. They're always there. They don't care how many times I call them, how long I talk their ear off. They're just amazing. It makes me want to be one of them.
Having the house fixed up is just a huge relief. It's such a huge expense that is lifted off our shoulders.
I just hope that more families can experience it, because until you experience it, you have no idea the feeling.
Relieved, grateful.
Say happy. Happy.
We're thankful and happy and excited. And my whole family thanks every single person who's been a part of this. Let's help others that need it too, because we're not the only ones.
Definitely would like to say thank you to Revitalize CDC and all the people who are involved in this. It's just huge thanks from the bottom of my heart. That it's just, I can't even come to words with saying it.
We'll never forget it. They have become our family.